I don't know what else to say about it. I want to be in a warm climate so my body doesn't feel as bad.
So go. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with your Sensei Al Bob. And here comes John. What?
My dad wants you to leave. You said go, like, and then, like, you pointed, like, I got.
No.
Up, go to jail.
No, I did not. No, sorry.
So my dad can try.
So I'll go tomorrow. I'll leave tomorrow. I'll leave. I'm just gonna pack the car.
He's angry about his fucking old as shit legs.
Yeah.
Because he's angry about his old body getting so old and hurt. So he wants me to want to kill myself. So it feels like I'm almost dead too. So then it makes him feel happier, like we're the same kind of, like it makes him feel. You think
your father actually feels that way?
Yeah, and I don't want to live in the same town as him.
Then move.
And he wants to make an argument between me and you, so it kicks you out, so I can sell the house for a bunch of money, so you can save a bunch of money, and my mom won't help me with money anymore. That I had to work so hard at this fucking house.
Whether I leave tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, that will not inhibit you selling this house, or make it happen anytime sooner. My being here. The only thing that my being here is enabling me to help you.
He's my dad.
Right?
He has a bunch of money, and he's worried about his body being fucking old. That's who my dad is.
Right. Well, he has more issues than that.
That's pretty much who he is.
No, he was traumatized.
That's pretty much who he. Oh, did I mention this? I hadn't seen him in 6 months when I finally got away from him long enough that I worked so hard at things that made me want to kill myself for about a year. And then I worked so fucking hard that I got enough money to be on my own at this house. And I got to finally feel good about being alive. And I didn't have to talk to him for 6 months, and it felt so amazing. I didn't have to be annoyed, have him try to do some shit to somebody's asshole until they're mean as shit or some shit with a fucking shaved military head trying to incinerate anyone who gets near their ass. He's crazy as shit.
Well, why don't you just ignore him and feel good? You're the one who reached out to him. You don't have to email him. When I finally
got away from him at this house, he showed up one day. He wanted to check in on his only son and make sure he was following in the footsteps of him and my grandfather, who was a big police officer. So he made sure he had to say something against gays. He made his presence in here like he kicked me out of the house to where I couldn't even be in his personal space and had to pace outside of my own house because he was in here talking to you.
I wasn't here, John. I wasn't.
This was in 2017. Remember when he showed up after I bought the house. I was here for 6 months or whatever, and somehow he
came up and he brought the Roto-Rooter device.
No, this was before all that. He showed up one day and talked to you in here. He talked to you in there, and I was pacing outside. It was like after I got the house.
I think I can kind of remember that.
First came back.
Yeah.
And then so the main things he wanted to do, since he hadn't seen me, he wanted to make sure we're all against gays, and he took up the entire space and demanded it be that way. He wanted it to be against gays. He wanted it to. He made a statement that blacks are bad and proved it with a statistical information outside that he told me. Just wanted to say that blacks are bad. So he wanted to say gays are bad, blacks are bad. He wanted to make sure I was waking up every morning at an early hour like the military. He wanted to make sure I was eating red meat and eating meat. Those are the 4 things, and there may have been one more that he wanted to make sure I was doing, and that's why he wanted to make sure I was following the footsteps of him and my grandfather. And when he left, he did so much with getting my personal space, pushing me out of my own house and shit. I ended up literally having to eat meat because I was finally getting back to my ways of being a vegetarian, and he caught on to that, and so I had to eat meat. I started making jokes a little bit about like maybe gays and blacks or something like that, just because he showed up and demanded it be that way. And now it's trying to do something to my penis, like pretend like I feel the way it feels good when I mention gays. So my mom can make a joke because I'm standing up for gays. So they pretend that that's what I like. If I say anything about gays, they try to control my penis, control my asshole, try to control every inch of my fucking body with all their power and money, that they try to force me to do shit that I never wanted to fucking do.
You don't have to.
To do things they're stupid.
John, I
so they can have $7 million.
John,
$7 little shit $1 million.
I understand.
That they think is so big. They have the best. They have the most money of everyone we know, or some shit.
Right.
Stupid
And
asses.
I mean, you know, that's.
They literally try to control my penis to where it does something to where I have to pretend that I hate gays. I hate gays if it's doing something up my ass. It's like I fucking hate them, and I love them too. I love them very much. I love my mom. It's not her fault. She's married to my dad. I mean, you know. Oh, he got to paint this on his wall? Oh, this must be the only work he did on this entire fucking house was painting art on the floors and painting art. That must be all he ever fucking did. He never did a day's work in his life. Right?
Well, that's not true.
Never did a fucking day's work in his life.
You know, you have been working hard as long as I've known you, John. You know, the only time I ever saw you at ease, really, it was when you first came here and I had to go do something. I came back about 3 or 4 weeks later, and you had walked up there and you
I don't even like the way I sound. I don't like living in the same town as my dad.
Then move.
And now he's worried about his fucking legs this morning. So he wants me to feel so much stress about having to get this house ready to sell it and put me through so much that the only way out is to want to kill myself.
No,
so then
John.
It feels like I'm near death too, and he's near death. And then it's okay because I keep him living until he's 98 years old.
I mean, death is something that is with us all the time.
However the fuck long he lives. I don't even give a fuck anymore. I don't want to kill myself every single day 3,000 times for all those years how I felt here without my wife and kids, so he'd save money. So somehow it...
Can you give me a hand up? 1, 2, 3. Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I don't even know if what I'm saying is true. My dad may be a really good person. I don't know.
Your dad is who he is. He's, you know.
It doesn't feel that good putting a price value on something so you have enough money to pay your bills. And then he kept it's just, I don't know what to say about it anymore. I hope he lives a long time. I hope his body's okay. I hope his body isn't hurt.
Right.
I probably had the wrong idea in saying a bunch of what I was talking about.
Right.
I'm a little bit right. I'm right too. I don't want to let him turn me into a fucking shaved head, military brainwashed homophobe like he already did to me.
He doesn't have to.
Yes, he raised me that way, and since I was 12 years old, he put me to work at things constantly. Like I was never.
Yeah, my dad did that. I always felt that he had us just so he had people to work for him.
And it's like he annoys people into things. It's like he annoys people into doing whatever the fuck he wants. But then it got out of hand when he started having more money. When I met Danica's family, and they had like way the fuck more. They had more money. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Maybe they're doing okay now. And now my dad has the most money. My dad and my mom. And I don't like living near them. It's disgusting. It went right to my penis, like feeling something on a penis. Like they think that's how it feels. I don't even like living in the same town as them. It's sexually awkward. I don't like the way it feels.
Uh-huh.
Since August of 2015, he kept me working indoors in my house with no social life, kept indoors sweeping and working for 7 years with no social life like Cinderella because he was jealous of my youth because he got old. And some other old people do it too. They don't like me to go out and have a social life. Kind of. Some other people. I'm not going to say it's you, Al, but
No, I want you to have a
it's
social
kind of
life.
you. It's kind of you too.
No.
These old people who want to keep me indoors and they want me to be old like them too.
No.
Because they're jealous of my youth.
No.
They want my body to be hurt or to not feel as good or be out of shape or not look as good. But you don't really do that.
No, I don't.
You don't really do. They don't really do that. I think that's my own worry.
Yes.
So I'd rather just sell this house and finally not complain anymore and actually get to feel good and not have to constantly work at things.
Yep. Why don't you
I had
do
to
that?
work at this house all this morning and more than I even want to talk about.
Okay. Don't talk about it.
So I'm just gonna go upstairs.
Okay.
It feels like somebody kept me here, like my dad kept me here like Cinderella, or somebody kept me here like Cinderella cleaning, sweeping things. Like it was never enough work.
All right.
Ugh.
Well, red leaf lettuce, cabbage, onions. That's what the stew is going to be. Well, yeah. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to the soap opera of life. I keep showing you that because it gives you something to reflect upon. Is your life like that? You know? You feel that way? Now, here's a guy who lives in a pretty amazing place, you know? It's just, you know. I mean, take a look at this joint. This is a downstairs kitchen. His upstairs. You go on his channel, John Birmingham. You'll see, you know, amazing downstairs. Right? There's the TV, gym room. Here's 2 of the 4 bedrooms on this floor. And look at that view. That's like the $1 million view. Huh? Now, as people value things, they're not going to really value this place because, George built it from, shit that he took out of demolished buildings, So, it goes on getting millions for this joint. But it should, because, like I said, it should be in the fucking Museum of Modern Art. And his fathers never really appreciate their children. I have all my siblings, and they all worked for my dad, right? I didn't. So I had my own friggin' life. And yeah, my brothers and sisters, they had a lot of cash, but never enough, never enough, right? Oh my. Yes. And so I'm going to do my best because this is, I have other things to do, but I have nothing better to do at this moment than to be here for John, right? Period, right? So, as no one else will do it, I will. Now, John didn't need to send his father an email, and God knows what he said to him, so that's why he feels guilty. I have no idea what he said, but it's a loop. It just keeps looping. You have to break that loop. And the only way you can break that loop is conscious intent I am, conscious awareness I am. That's the only way you can do it. So that's the dynamic, So, and then you look at the soap opera here, and you then look at the soap opera around the world. Look at the soap opera that is your community. What's going on in your community? What is your county seat and county board? And if you have a town or a city, what's your mayor? What's your police chief? All the above. What is the municipalities? What are the banks? Are you looking at any of that? Because all of this is interconnected. You go, how can that, what John just said, how can, well, because it really is. He's like going on and on upstairs. And I'm sure he'll come down and start throwing shit around. So let's see, let's get all the knives and things out of harm's way. That he could throw and smash. Yeah. So it's a cooking lesson. So,
Now, I feel okay again. The problem was that I was taking my medicine and I quit caffeine. So I hadn't done that before, and I was thinking and now I just had some caffeine, a small amount from the cans, and it tastes and I feel okay again. I was annoyed and felt bad without the caffeine, without a small amount of the caffeine from the soda.
yep. Carrots. You feeling better?
My announcements.
What?
I was trying to make a funny announcement.
Okay.
You know what it was?
What was?
I got long blonde hair hanging down in the back, and I'm naked, and you can see my butt move every time my long hair comes right down to my butt like this with a little penis, and you can see my little penis feeling really good, and my butt coming down with a long mullet of blonde hair in the front, long in the back, down to my butt, and I'm naked, and you can see my butt walking away when there's hair, long hair, blonde hair back down to it. Yeah, it feels good to have a little penis in my butt. And I'm ready to have sit down on the bottom.
Yeah, look, it's a beautiful kind of spring day here in the mountains. I mean, if I could walk better than I do, I would walk up in these hills. But see, I've spent so much time, so many hours, so many years living up here. Not so much living in here. This was more my warehouse, more where I slept. But this is where I lived, up here. Because the spirit up here is amazingly strong. And so, did I not show it correctly? Who knows? So, this is what he bought a bunch of this Beyond breakfast sausage. So I made meatballs out of it. We'll see how that is. It actually tastes pretty good. God knows what it's made out of. But and you know, the Larry Schwabs, the people who think they're in power, but they're just, you know. So the world that we live in now, this is the world that we've always lived in, the one of duality, illusion. Because when you are happy, you can only be happy serving love's co-creation, right? Religions, dogmas, rules, they are there to separate us from the spirit of love. And so no matter what or how a person acts, they make you angry or make you anxious or annoy you, that is the dynamic of separation. When you see what is going on with John, people go, I'm a cadre, say, boy, you're a saint. How can you put up with that? Well, he's a person who's hurting, right? And so I empathize with that pain because when people go, he goes, I don't want to be here. I've been around my bed, blah, blah, blah. Well, I had the same thing. So I didn't, I had my own life, pretty much my whole friggin' life. And I was very blessed the beginning part of my life. My grandma took care of me for the first 6 years, right? And then I went back to my parents and had about under a year. And then I went to first grade and a nun murdered me, broke the orbit of my eye. That's why I can't see too well. That's kind of why I'm blind. Made me deaf in this ear, but it didn't really make me deaf. It changed my ability to hear certain frequencies. I hear other frequencies, right? And she crushed my voice box, so I couldn't speak, right? Now, God is always watching out for me. So when she did that, she just picked me up by my throat, put me against a cinder block wall, and hit me with full force with a fist. And she had been, in Dachau, and she was known as the milkmaid of pain, right? And she was spirited out of Germany on the rat line by the Vatican, and she was one of that 70,000 folk who ended up in the United States. Hail Hydra, right? And so, I was a cheeky monkey. I wasn't like cowed. I was just sitting there. Everyone's down on the floor. She had them down on the floor.
In South Texas, I got a little bit.
Really? Okay. So, and he came down and turned. I don't know if you picked that up. It was pointed to the right place where I was focusing on the roll of paper towels. But anyway, it's. I'm a social scientist. I'm a shamanic, psychosocial, cultural, forensic, anthropologic alchemist. So this is interesting observations for me. And, my first wife used to get upset. You're just a compassionate computer. You're always analyzing. You're always looking at things. You're always investigating. I said, well, what else should I be doing? Getting upset like you? No, right? And so for the 7 years she hung on me, she became more like that. And it made her a much better, she was she was the Albert Einstein in the darkroom, right? She was Annie Leibovitz's assistant. She was the head of Rolling Stone's darkroom in the mid-'70s. And then we met on the subway in New York City. She was hiding out. And so she was living in a storage closet, shitting in a bucket. And then she met me and saw my loft and moved in that day and was with me for 7 years, right? And I was always supporting her, always, right? And we were a great team because she was really thorough, not analytical, but she was great with paperwork. So, she got all the licenses and permits and applied for grants and all of that stuff, right? And so, we did it together, but she had much better handwriting. She could see better than I could. And so I got her a typewriter and we typed it all out, or gave her mine, my little Corolla. Anyway, so that's what life. It can always be worse. Now, I've seen the worst of the worst. I've been in wars, as a news photojournalist, I've seen war zones, and I didn't do it, Other guys got addicted to it. Me, and I was just around it. Meaning I never, was there because I knew it was propaganda. I was never going to see what was really going on. So I stayed way far back and saw the collateral damage. That was never hidden. That was never even focused on, right? The people who weren't, they were suffering. There's a great scene. That's why I keep telling my friends who are historians who are writing about war that they should go watch the first Wonder Woman, right? Marvel Wonder Woman film with that Israeli actress who's really good. And so she really, she's been on the island of the girls, and she comes off with the guy who she kind of likes and is, and she wants to go after Ares. She thinks she can kill Ares. That's what our boy.
Yeah, I live in California. I made Little Dicks come back in style again. Everyone likes Little Dicks. It feels good.
So John just wants to. He's getting tired of going up and down the stairs to be in the video. So he turned that all the way up. So anyway, back to cooking. But go watch that. Has anyone seen that? And so the scene that I really love is where, they come back to England. They have the code book, and it's in all kinds of languages. And they're in the room, the smoky room with all the old guys who are planning for war. And that's why everyone dies, because they're not really on top of it. And so, they. She reads it, she translates it, she tells them what it is, and they're like, well, what does she know? She's a girl. And so, they do that. And there's one guy who's smart enough to listen and go, but that's Ares. He doesn't know that, but and so he comes and tells his boy, listen, you go to the front lines, you go behind the lines, you go check this out, see what's happening, right? And so they do, and he meets his cadre in a bar, and they're like totally PTSD'd out from the war, and they're drinking. They're self-medicating, and she meets them, and they're like, "Whoa!" And then they go, and that scene of them, they get into France, and they're walking towards the front line, and all the soldiers who are dead, and all the soldiers who are wounded are being carried out, and all the throngs of the people who have been, bombed out of their houses, and they're crying and holding dead babies. That's probably one, other than, Paths of Glory by Stanley Kubrick, and that scene the opening scene where, what's his name is walking through the ditches all covered in mud and blood. And he walks in, and, the big, offensive that was supposed to happen, and everyone died except 3 guys, like 100,000 soldiers die in a day because the French just marched these guys through the kill zone like they had done already. But, well, if we have 100,000, we'll overwhelm them, right? A few will die maybe, and everyone dies except 3. So for the French generals to not be blamed, they blamed the 3 guys who survived, right? And so, what's his name? The guy who starred in that. He was also in the other Stanley Kubrick movie. So anyway, he was one of his favorite actors. And then he had a son, Michael, who played the nasty guy in Wall Street. So, so if any of you in a cadre have seen Wonder Woman and know that scene, or whatever your feelings about that movie, about how it represented the dynamic of women and men, and basically what it showed, that women are in charge, women are best, men are just sperm donors. And the girls were so evolved, they didn't need men to have babies, and that's starting to happen now. I mean, why things are so weird is because actually the better of the world is coming forth, right? And they're trying to do if they have to, nuke everything to stop, I think we believe. Yes. Yes. And so we don't believe. And when you don't believe, but you have faith in love's co-creation, that's all there is love co-creation. That's why there's going to be no end times, kids. I'm sorry, you born agains, because you're not even born again. Because to be born again, you have to be born again every minute, every second, every nanosecond of your existence as a mud puppet. You have to be consciously aware, I am Om. You have to be consciously intent, I am Om. Now I'm doing pretty good. I'm 60% there. The other 40%, I'm a moron. But once I go into my moron stage and I get anxious or run around or do stuff, I stop myself relatively quickly. I don't get into trouble. I don't, I just, whoa. Consciously aware I'm not here. Let's get on board. So that's where we have to go with this, right? So, and cooking, you had to be consciously, I'm going to just put you into the cooking mode. So we're boiling up the carrots before we put them in the stew, because we got to soften them up, because if I just put in that, it'd still be hard, right? So right about now, add a little olive oil. Olive oil goes good with everything. Okay. Let's see. A little salt. A little Italian seasoning. A little soy sauce. So all of you, I would love it if you could send me some photos, especially you, Jamie, in Ireland, of the beauty around you, right? And send it off to the Dude Awake 42, the Dude Awake 42 at Gmail. Dude Awake 42 at Gmail. Anybody wants to throw something on the old PayPal, that would be truly appreciated. I thank you very much, the four of you who have sent me something. So what do you think of these interesting times of change, right? And so, like John is going on about, I just want to die. Well, man, if he was in Ukraine, he could, right? And so, and that is just a killing field, and both sides are dying. Both sides, Russia, there is no winner out of this war. And if China goes to war, it's the same thing with theirs. I'll send you some pics. Thanks, Jamie. And I'll show them to the crowd. They send them to me, and I'll show them. So I had some. Where are they? I'll find them. Next time I come on, I'll have some pictures of the old Crohn's neck of the woods, right? And I've shown them before. You know, I show them pictures of the West Coast when in 2005 was the last time I went to Ireland. The rich lady took me there with my girlfriend, and we spent about a week and a half, 2 weeks, because she didn't want to ride on the wrong side of the road. She could barely drive, you know, in America. So, and she knew that I had been there a long time and that I could show her things that most people wouldn't see, right? So, and that, you know, I kind of could put up with her mishigash, right? It didn't bother me. And it bothered my girlfriend. My girlfriend basically, after about 5 days, just started drinking, because my girlfriend was alcoholic, and she had stopped drinking, at least 4 or 5 months before we went up to Ireland. And I told the lady who brought us, listen, you know, don't drink around her. You know, don't have alcohol. Don't do any of that. And of course she did. You know, she's, oh, why don't you have a drink? You know, and I couldn't just say no. You know.
Well,
Hey, homie.
I thought it'd be real warm outside, but it wasn't.
No, it's still cold.
Hi.
Hi.
I feel better now.
Good.
I drank a little bit of caffeine.
And from soda? Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, I'm boiling up some carrots to put in the stew.
Oh.
I used the amazing vegan sausage to make some meatballs.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Hi.
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 And I was going to make a little eggs and amazing sausage and potatoes. You want a little of that?
Not right now.
Okay.
I got a really good idea.
What's that?
I'm going to film it, too.
Good idea.
Okay. I got a really good idea. I had to wipe the screen off.
Mm-hmm.
I got a really good idea that, you know, when you're done cooking the food today, we keep the house clean.
Right.
You know, that didn't make much of a
Well,
mistake.
I've been doing that the whole time
Yeah.
I've been here. Yeah, I washed the floor
Yeah.
just the other day. You know.
Yeah, I know. And so have I.
Yep.
So the house looks good.
Yeah, looks great.
So the thing that I think will be really good, this is like a way that we can help sell the house. Like when they come to look at the house,
Right.
I'll leave, I think, because unless I can be around them with you, I don't know. But I don't really want to have to be around all those people.
Right, I can take care of it.
So I'll probably go down the hill or up the hill and
Yeah.
sit in a chair and
Yes,
hide.
yes, that's a good idea.
And then since you're more like social and outgoing
Right,
around
right.
here, and I
Mhm.
don't have to be like on weed in California to be like that social and
Right,
stuff or
right.
something, or not on weed and just like I think I can do it better in California.
Right.
But you know, it's okay enough here. It's pretty good here.
It's very good.
But I don't know if I can put up with like
I can deal with the people.
But you can do that. So like
Yes,
if say like they walk in to look at the house, like you can tell them stories. Or
yes,
talk to them.
yes, yeah. About George and Inga and the
Yeah.
amazing job that you did to fix it up. I'll show them all the things, the great things you did.
Yeah, like George and Inga stories, or tell them stuff like, you know, how the house could be worth a bunch of money.
Right. Yeah, all the different ways. The ski lodge, all the different things they could do to this place. Yep.
Well,
Mhm.
it's an 8-bedroom house with 5 bathrooms on almost 9 acres, 8.94 acres.
Right.
So technically, houses of this size sell for more than $1 million in Roanoke when they're like, if you do a little more work to it, like if you put in like
A real.
new cabinets
All right.
upstairs, a better bathroom than that bathroom,
Right.
a better bathroom in there, and it would be, you know, do some work to the kitchens and bathrooms.
But the real deal, John,
it'd be a $1.4 million house,
Right.
with it maybe a little work here.
but
and
if
there.
someone bought it, they would have an idea what they want to do with it, and that would be it. I could give them the history and things of that, but they have their own vision, and so
Yeah, like if they put in 200,000, say like they buy it for 640, they put in 200,000 and work on it, it'd be worth 1.4 million.
right now you have a lot of pictures of this place,
They'd only have 840,000 in it. It'd be worth 1.4 million.
right? And you have loads of pictures of this place, so you pick out the best 20 or so and put it online,
Yeah, no, yeah,
especially that view, you know.
yeah. And we can't keep stuff that looks too like saving money. I'll just throw it away if you're not if you're not using it sometimes, or hide it.
I will put everything away, don't worry.
Like cleaning the sour cream container.
Right.
They
Yes.
might not like that. They might see that and think, oh, that's lower.
Right. We'll just clean up.
Nobody did that.
Right.
Nobody in my family did the same.
Right.
You know, she'd have a garbage bag hanging from here.
Right.
And she'd put eggs in.
Right.
The egg yolks or something.
Right.
That it wouldn't cut. It wouldn't make a mess or something. And
Right.
Put it in the garbage.
Yep.
But less of that stuff, and I can just clean up after
Yes,
all
we
that.
can do all of that. Not a problem. Not a problem.
And you can but if you happen to be asleep when they show up, just sleep.
Well, they
Stay asleep.
and
They
the
might
other,
open your door and say, "No, in here."
well, the other side of the coin
Jesus,
is that they will come at a time when I won't be asleep, and also the thing is, most real estate people don't just show up. You know, they are there. You know, they give the
Don't give it the backhand. That kills somebody. If you go like that with a backhand, like, hey, like the mafia people that go to they serve food and they pour it this way.
Right.
They pour it this way to that person at the table. That means that person's gonna die.
Okay. If you say so.
But I'm Irish,
Yep,
so I
you're
don't
Irish.
really believe in it, all of it. And I believe in Jesus and God. I believe in Jesus and God. I believe
That's
in God
good.
and Jesus.
God and Jesus.
But I want to actually sell the house and do something.
Yep.
You know, get to see my kids.
Yep.
When I get the money for my house, then I can get them in the same town
Yep.
and finally get to be around her and the kids. And she can have me back if she wants me, or I might have enough money to make it like we never got a divorce.
Yeah.
Because the divorce decree we signed was written in our own terms, and we just wrote it out like we wrote down stuff like I can see the kids whenever I miss them,
Right.
and I showed it to a lawyer. He said this is not even a real divorce,
Right.
because we happened to send it in, a judge signed it, but it was like written in these random ways, so maybe we're not even divorced.
Okay. Well, there you go.
And I think God still has us married anyway, even though a man signed a divorce document, because in the Bible it says, let no man separate what God has brought together.
Yep.
And it says a bunch of other stuff on divorce. I've studied it. So a man can't separate two people if God still wants them together. They'll think about one another, even if they're physically apart, if they're far away from one another, think about one another every day. I've thought about her every day. But there's no but about it. I guess I'm still married to her,
Yep.
but I don't know what to do about it. I'm married to her, but if she doesn't want to be married and she insists that we're divorced, then maybe we are divorced. I don't know.
Well, yes.
I don't know what I'm gonna
If
do.
she wants to be with you, she'll be with you.
Yeah, but it's kept me like there are 2 or 3 years ago when I got the thought, move on, you know, like from a good
Right. A good place.
almost like an angel or something. I got the feeling like, move on, you're wasting time. Years have gone by. She has said no 1,000 times or something.
Right.
So but then I was determined, and I said, but then sometimes it was okay. I was supposed to move on,
And then I made that video of Meant to Be with me with all the flowers. I redid it. It has like me like outside of this house with all these like red roses. I did like a Photoshop and made it look like there are red roses everywhere. And I don't know what it really means. It could mean something like my mom had me staying at this house with her red roses like trapped in here. And so I might just leave because my mom's giving me a little bit of money every month for like 2 years or whatever now. But I was on my own financially when I got here. I worked hard enough to get on my own. And then I thought, hey, I'll just work at videos. My videos will get big enough. And they didn't pay the bills enough, so then she started helping me with them. And I worked in this house the whole time, made it go up in value.
Yeah.
So now I have more net worth than I ever did
Yeah.
because I was doing this instead of movies. I used to just put in all the money into movies, and my kids always had enough. They always had like, shelter, and they had heat, air, stuff like that, basic stuff, food, plenty of clothes, and way more than that. So that was always okay. But anytime I got money, I tried to make an entire movie and worked relentlessly at my films, and I kind of made it a really high priority. But then I had to take since 2015, I haven't gotten to do it at all. I've just done videos and had to work on my house, indoors working on my house since 2015. On the house before it and then this house. So it hasn't felt that good. So I want to actually go out there and get to enjoy myself.
Yep, that's what you should do, buddy.
Maybe lose some weight,
Yeah.
maybe feel better about myself.
Yep,
So I don't know what to say.
that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
No, that's what it sounds like.
So I don't know.
It's okay.
But I think I'm gonna move to California.
That's a
So I
great
guess you
idea.
can stay here because I don't want you to go out in the cold.
Right, and it won't be cold for that much longer. A week or two at best.
Ow, now I'm zooming in on whoops. That's gay. I just felt wrong to, I got the thought when you were gonna start packing up your stuff today. I got the thought from the same good voice that said move on from Danica, or a different voice. I don't know, but I think I'm still married to Danica. I don't know. But from a really good voice, I got the thought, no idea what you've done. No idea what you've done, but not a young voice, like a little older, like somebody who was an angel or something who already passed away a long time ago or something. And I got I got a thought of it. No idea what you've done, like when you were gonna have to go out in the cold today. And then I could see it in your face, so you're like really worried. So I was like, okay, just stay.
Yep.
But it wasn't like a supernatural weird voice. It was from God or Jesus or an angel.
There is no good or bad, there's only God's love, period. That's it.
Well, I guess I'm gonna go. Now it feels like not that good. I was gonna drink caffeine and feel better. Now my body feels tired. I'm gonna go upstairs and maybe
Okay.
feel better.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. It's not something bad. It's not gay.
Right, gotcha.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
It's bad. Everyone knows gay is bad. Don't ever let them get your backside. That's the way my brain works. That's how my brain functions. Don't let them get your backside. That's how I do everything. I'm sorry. That's wrong. That's stupid. That's stupid. I'm gonna go. It's kind of cold, but it's like it's about the 50s.
I'm dressed for it.
Isn't it 50s? Just for this kind of shirt. I'm gonna get out of here. Sorry.
Okay,
Sorry, I almost made you do it.
no problem, buddy.
I'm sorry. Come on, praise God, praise Jesus. Bye.
So here's the stew. And here's my brunch. Eggs, Wonder sausage, potatoes. And a little toast. There we go. Alexa, play Lauryn Hill.
Here's some music by Lauryn Hill on Amazon Music.
Oh, yeah. Good old Lauren. Alexa, pause. Well, that's pretty good. Arr. So, I listen to all my threats, and even though they are all over the place, I mean, I'm not in a silo. I have but I am, because whatever's coming over the media, even me, that's why I say don't believe a word I say. All I am doing this for is to transmit the shamanic frequency of love, right? And that whole motif of transhumanism is the, basically divergent motif of that love, right? Kind of chocolatey. So, our bodies are a spiritual hack. A little prison sentence. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's me with lunch. Let's I mean, look at this place. You know, why would he want to kill himself? It's such a beautiful place, beautiful view. Ten acres of this forest, all around, nobody really near you. I mean, this is stuff by let's see. There's our boy. Oh, that's really nice, Jimmy. Oh, look at that garden. Look at that view. You got it down, buddy. This is your buddy. Oh, look at this. How old is this house, Jamie? Oh, you have a beautiful place, buddy. Beehives even. Look at that. Well, thanks for sending me those pictures, Jamie. And everybody else, why don't you send me some? I see what your castle looks like. Oh. Well, this has been as usual, a beautiful show. Let's see what the cadres say. Send some batch, why not? One of me 40 years ago. Oh, recent. Gardens. Here comes John. Hey, buddy. Oh, okay.
Huh?
Uh,
I still haven't drank that caffeine. The second one I was gonna.
well, no, don't do the second one.
How are you? You want?
Can I what?
To go out? Can you drive down the hill with me to get packages and my parents aren't home and I can go in and get a hard drive from their house that has these old. I think it has these old video of this house when I first got it. I think it has this like old video footage of a house when I first got it, but I can't show it until after I sell it. But just for fun, you don't want to? You want to stay here today?
We can do it tomorrow.
Okay, let's stay here.
When we're gonna do the garbage, right?
Oh, we'll just do this. Okay, we'll do it when we do the garbage.
Yes.
But how will I ever have a social life? How do I go out in public?
Well, tomorrow we'll do the garbage.
And go out in public tomorrow?
Right, and then give it a try.
Okay. Okay, sorry.
No problem.
Stay here, don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. But,
I just film a live video from my social.
yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why they call it social media,
Yeah.
So here, have a little
There's
taste
gotta
of
be
it.
more than that sometimes too.
Right.
I don't want a taste of it.
Okay, we're done.
I can smell it. The smell smells good enough.
Yeah, okay, good.
Oh, I found this guy's site, this guy's YouTube channel that has Beverly Hills live. Well, not live, but he's probably gonna put live videos. He has like Sunset Boulevard and Beverly Hills, like all the people walking around there.
Oh, that's cool.
And it looks really cool. There's this guy with his shirt off and a ponytail, and he was driving like an old 1930s car
Uh-huh.
that had no roof on it, and he was driving around Beverly Hills, and like it looked better than it had looked.
Oh, there you go.
There's like all these different kinds of people, like even this Asian girl that looked like she was in China, like a model in China, somebody taking pictures of her and stuff, and then like an old guy that looked cool that was like he was like older, like well not that old, but like 70s or 70
My age.
something,
My
but like he older looking than you, and he was like cool looking or something. Like all of them look. It was like interesting to see what they look like and watch them walk around and stuff. I'm not gay or something, but I mean, why is it supposed to be gay to like look cool? I had issues with that when I was a teenager. I started getting issues with it. I guess that's gay.
I have no idea, John.
It's not much of a value. It's not much of a value.
I never saw gay people as any different than anybody else. Just like I never saw black people as anybody else. They're just people.
Yeah, but my dad isn't that bad. He just, I don't know.
Your dad
he has gay friends.
Your dad is
They have
gay
they have
friends. Right.
these Vietnamese people who they're friends with.
Yeah.
And they and my dad fought in Vietnam War.
Right, exactly.
And he's friends with they're friends with this entire Vietnamese family, and they do all their real estate agent stuff. And they're really good friends with them. They get along with them. My mom's good friends with them.
They're just people.
And my mom and my dad's friends with them too.
They're just people.
And growing up, my dad had an Irish policeman as a father, so it was like he was all Irish, and my grandfather didn't like Italians that much, and when my dad chose like a little bit darker skinned or an Italian,
Right.
she wasn't that darker skin when she was younger sometimes, but
She's
when
not
he
dark.
chose-
She's not dark skinned now. She's not
Yeah.
what I would call
no,
dark skinned Italian.
but when he married
Married an Italian woman.
that was
Right,
also
right.
kind of Sicilian. My
Right.
grandfathers thought it was ridiculous
Right. Well,
that her father played guitar.
right.
and
But
did
her
art.
father also was
But he
an
liked it.
engineer
And then he
who was
loved
the
it.
head engineer on the
Yeah.
Seagram's building
But
and
then
the
he got along
United
with-
Nations building.
But they
you
all
can't
got
get-
along anyway, and he ended up moving down here to follow him down here when my dad and mom moved down here. My grandfather, the Irish one, moved down here
Yep.
to settle down here. And he liked it here, and they bought a little ranch. They didn't have, they weren't that rich or something.
Right.
They weren't rich. They weren't rich. They just,
Right.
they bought like a small ranch and retired.
Yeah.
And my dad still owns their house. It was grandma's house.
Right.
It's like a little ranch, but it has a basement. It's like a 3-bedroom. I think 1, 2,
What part of town?
Roanoke County,
Oh, out
Southwest Roanoke County.
southwest. Yeah.
Yeah,
Out
they
by-
have a
out-
bunch of homes.
Below the airport, right?
No, like on View Avenue, near North Cross,
Over there.
you know
Okay.
what Catty Corner means, or
Yes.
whatever
Yep,
it's called.
Yep.
Like across the street, but on the other side of North Cross.
Okay, I know exactly what you're
Like
talking about.
back in that neighborhood
Yep,
in
yep,
there, and you
yep,
drive on the road back there. And it
Yep,
gets to
yeah,
you.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And when we were kids, I would go there, and my grandmother, I'd hang out with my grandmother. Well, I wouldn't hang out.
Your
but
Irish grandma?
I'd do. Yeah, I had an Irish grandmother. Yeah, she would make Southern food too, because she liked the South. Once they moved down here, she'd make cornbread and. But she was
She was nice?
yeah, she was nice. But my grandfather on my mom's side
Mm-hmm.
was more like, really Sicilian. He was from Sicily.
But he was an American.
Yeah, and he smoked since he was 9 years old, and he lived to be 89, I think.
Yeah.
I think 89 or 80. I don't think he was 86. I think he was 89.
Right. Like my Uncle Leo.
And but because of smoking, he had a big stomach.
Right?
He when he got older, he got a big stomach, and he had difficulty breathing because his stomach was big and he smoked.
Right. OCD. OPT or some O something.
Because he smoked.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. I'm happy again.
Good.
I stopped worrying. I told
Good.
my mom all the problems, and then all the problems went away.
Good. Good. Okay.
No. But she's not my wife.
She's your mother.
That,
Mothers
she's
are
not
good.
My wife. That's who I really am supposed to go to. Vamos tano dino team boom boom.
Anyway. Well, gang, anyone else is why were you there? It's good to see you. Thanks for being on the show. Anything you want to ask, anything you want to tell, any conversation you want to start? Ay, ay, ay. Mm-hmm. Yum, yum. Yes, he likes the company. So does everybody, you know? It's like that he hides himself away, you know? So tomorrow will be a day of adventure. This is almost an Irish meal. Almost. Potatoes, eggs, and sausage. No blood sausage, though.
Bumble doom doom boom. And is in the woods and that's who we is. That's who we.
Yes. When people can't be in each other's frequency, but they still need the company. That's what Alexa is. It's the third frequency. But you're right. It's a walkie-talkie. I mean, I can't go up the steps, so I can talk to John and tell him to come on down or do this or come on visit. I made you dinner. Right? And the thing about, like the food I make is it's made with love. It's made with conscious intent. It's made with conscious awareness. Whereas, the food that's processed, which is all the food I've been here now 2 weeks and a couple of days. And I've, basically spent $100 and bought food up here and made nice meals. And he, oh, this is great. And then he ordered $500 around my birthday, or it's still my birthday. It's my birthday, and but about a week or so ago, week and change. Anyway, he bought like $500, and he bought ice cream cakes and sheet cakes and potato chips and candy and nothing of any real substance. And then, he saw that I was buying, vegetables and cooking them for him. So the other day we ordered up, he came down and I said, oh, we'll need a little of this. And so, he bought I don't have refrigeration. So I buy, if I'm going to buy blueberries, unless something's on sale, I go in early January. I don't know why, but blueberries were on sale at Harris Teeter's. They were 90 cents a pint. So I bought 10 pints, $9. So instead of eating anything else, I ate blueberries, and I put them in everything else, right? So it's my way of living is I live in abundance, but I don't need to overconsume, right? And I live in love's co-creation, but I don't need to have someone. But when someone pops into my life, well, I enjoy them, right? I make them happy. The thing that makes me happy about people is making them happy. One of the major reasons I do this show is because it seems to make you happy. I feel it energetically. So it's all good. And I'm not worrying about, everyone's like freaking out about aliens. And if any aliens show up, it's a false flag, right? Because no aliens, the aliens have been here. We are the friggin' aliens. So they're not going to show up anytime soon because they don't get involved except for little bits here and there. They do. Because they have some skin of the game, right? But anyway, but if you want to know what's Linda Moulton Howe, she's the best on what's really going on with the overall view. The guy who coined the phrase "breakaway civilization," I forget his name, dark journalist Kristen Moulton Howe, what's her name? Catherine Austin Fitz, Joseph P. Farrell. These guys, they all have great information, but they all have their own point of view. So if you go, oh, they're right. No, well, they are interesting, and they have information that makes me go and gives me a place to start looking. And that's what I like Coast to Coast for. I mean, I really liked Art Bell. I met him a number of times. He was the kind of radio guy I had grown up around. What's his name? William B. William and Big Wilson and And a guy who wrote that Christmas story that everyone watches, Gene Shepard, and who else? There were a whole bunch. And they were the first guys who talked about aliens and paranormal and stuff like that in the 50s, right? And 60s. And that was dangerous, man. I mean, man, if you stepped outside the box in the 50s, man, you think, the woke guys are crazy now. But anyway. Yeah, Alexi, the new walkie-talkie. Yeah, Jamie, I will show him Ireland. And your house is really sweet. So that first picture is you 40 years ago, and then the older guy is you now? Is that it? Is that what it is? Anyway, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So when it hits 150-50, I think I'll go. I'm going to put her around a little bit, and then I might even take a nap. My legs are shot. I really can't walk up and down those hills like I used to. And I don't have to because I sit here in this chair, I look out the window, I close my eyes, and I'm there. So let's do that. I'll take you there. Zachary? Mister. Hello. So here we go. Breathe in. Turn the food down a bit. It's bubbling. The secret to cooking is don't burn it. That's the secret to cooking. Yeah. Ooh, that's good stuff. That is good stuff. Yum, yum, yum. Feel the energy. So, stay well, my friends. I'll see you later.